Suspiciously cumbersome groin bulge.
So some of the neighbors thought the shuttle might be a little cumbersome for you, so I was happy to volunteer.
Hey everyone, and welcome to TalkWord. Today we're grabbing one of those words that just, well, it feels like a heavy box, right? It's a little awkward to carry and you're not totally sure what's inside. So we are going to unpack it together. Let's get right into it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You come across a word and it just lands with a thud. It feels clunky, maybe you're not 100% sure if you're using it the right way, and it just kind of slows you down. It's like trying to wrestle with a box that's just a little too big to get your arms around. And that word is cumbersome. So we're going to treat it just like that awkward box. We're going to open it up, unpack it layer by layer until it feels light, easy, and ready to use. Okay, let's pop open the first flap. We're going to start with the most straightforward physical meaning of the word. This is really the foundation for everything else it can do. So, at its very core, cumbersome just means something is difficult to handle because it's big or heavy. That word right there, unwieldy, that's the key. It just means it is a pain to manage. It's clumsy, it's awkward, it's just plain hard to work with. I mean, think about trying to move a giant king-size mattress up a winding, narrow staircase. That is the absolute perfect picture of something cumbersome. Or picture those old-school deep-sea diving suits with the massive metal helmets. So incredibly heavy and difficult to move in. Heck, even just wearing way too many bulky winter jackets can make you feel cumbersome. You can barely even move your arms. But here's where the word cumbersome really starts to show its power. When we look past the physical stuff. Let's peel back the next layer and dive into the world of ideas, processes, and systems. And what's so cool is that the physical feeling translates perfectly. That sensation of a heavy, hard-to-move object, well, that becomes the feeling of a slow, complicated, and super inefficient process. The physical weight literally transforms into a metaphorical one. It's all about obstacles that slow you down, just like a heavy box would. Have you ever had to fill out like a 20-page application just to get a library card? That, my friends, is a cumbersome process. Or how about dealing with bureaucracy? You know, all the red tape and paperwork that turns a simple task into a week-long ordeal? We call those cumbersome regulations. It's when the system itself just feels heavy and impossible to get through. So now that we've got the two main layers unpacked, let's add some precision tools to your vocabulary toolkit. Figuring out how cumbersome compares to other similar words will really help you use it with confidence. Okay, people, mix up cumbersome and awkward all the time, but here's the real difference. Cumbersome is all about weight, size, and complexity. Awkward, that's more about a strange shape or that cringy feeling of social discomfort. So, a giant heavy engine is cumbersome. A long, painful pause in a conversation, that is awkward. And here's another really important distinction. Cumbersome describes the thing, the machine, the process, the rules. The object is the problem. Clumsy, on the other hand, describes a person's actions. So the regulations are cumbersome, but the person who keeps tripping over the rug, well, they're clumsy. You know, one of the best ways to really get a word is to know what it's not. So what's the opposite of a cumbersome process? It's a streamlined one. The opposite of a cumbersome tool is something handy or user-friendly. See how these words feel light and easy? That's the goal. All right, we've looked at all the layers. We've examined all the pieces inside. Now it's time to put this all together and really make this word your own. This is a perfect real-world example. The old accounting software was cumbersome. It was probably slow, complicated, and inefficient. And what was the solution? A streamlined system. This sentence just beautifully contrasts the problem with the solution. And there you have it. The box is officially unpacked. What once felt heavy and confusing is now, hopefully, clear. Cumbersome isn't a burden anymore. It's a sharp, precise tool for your vocabulary. So to really make it stick, I'm going to leave you with a question. Thinking physically or, figuratively, what's the most cumbersome thing you've had to deal with this week? Seriously, thinking of an answer is the best way to lock this new word in and make it your own.
Cumbersome loads and put them on other people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them.
In the end, I decided my virginity was becoming rather cumbersome.
Sensors, at first cumbersome, worn like clothing, could read and replicate the body's movements.